Alright, welcome to 2.6b. I'm going to finish up with page 148, algebraic expressions representing area and perimeter. And then we'll do some problem exercises from the problem set on page 149. Just real quickly, area, if you remember, is the amount of carpet it's going to take to carpet that room. Perimeter is going to be the distance, the amount of fence, how long the walls are in a room or whatever, going from here to here, here to here, here to here, here to here, and adding those lengths up. So, for instance, if I have a square, like I just had up there, and I said that this side of the square is 6. Well, being a square, one of the things that makes it that is all the sides are the same. And if I asked you to tell me what the area is, if you remember, the area is length times width. That's area. If that's the case, 6 times 6 is 36. So my area is 36 square feet, square inches, whatever. Let's just say inches there. And remember, you put the 2 up there. If I'm asking perimeter, now I need to know all the sides. Well, being a square, all the sides are the same. And I go 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 is 18, plus 6 is 24. So the perimeter is 24 inches. Not square inches, not cubic inches, because all we did was measured lengths. We didn't multiply. You only put the square in the cube when you multiply the numbers. When you just add the sides, it's going to be the length. It's kind of like if we were to take this and unfold it. It would be one long line there. Alright, so if you look at example number 11, find the area of a square and the perimeter of a square. Well, it looks like that's what we just did. Look at example 12. They give us a soccer field and they tell us that it's 100 yards long. So I'm going to put 100 yards and it is 75 yards wide. Alright. And they're asking me to come up with the area and the perimeter. Well, area, again, is length times width, so 100 times 75. Okay, if you remember in one of the other lessons, whenever you're multiplying by something with the hundreds, you multiply the number times the number, forget the zeros, so 75 times 1, and then add the zeros. So we just came up with the area, 7,500 yards squared. Remember, we multiplied, so we put a square up there. Then to find the perimeter, we take 100 yards, and sometimes what I do when I do this is I cross this out, letting me know that I already used that, plus 75, do the same thing, cross that out, but I got to remember how long this one is and how long this one is, because perimeter means I'm adding up all the sides, plus 100 plus 75. So this gets crossed out and this gets crossed out. So again, if you remember, to find perimeter, you find the number of sides, and that's how many numbers you should have that you're adding up here. If you've got more or less than the number of sides, then you got something goofy here. So 100 plus 75 plus 100 plus 75 is 350. And it would only be yards. There's no square in there because we didn't multiply. Alright, so let's do a few problems from the problem set, 2.6 on page 149. 1 through 28 is using the associative property in order to find the answer to each expression. Let's jump all the way to 28. That's probably about as hard as it's going to get, which you might look at that and think, huh, that's not hard, or you're just so smart. 14x plus 3 plus 15. Using the associative property means when we're adding. Remember, when we're adding. I didn't say subtracting and addition and multiplication. We got all addition problems. It does not matter which way we add these. So, this 14x we can't combine in anything because of this stinking x. So what we're going to do is we're going to add what we can and leave the rest alone. So we can't do anything with that, but we can add the 3 and the 15 and get 18. And that's all. Numbers 29 to 44, same old distributive thing we did a little bit ago. Let's look at 43. 5 times 7 minus 4y Given that, using distributive, we just multiply, multiply again, and the sign goes with us and we're done. Okay. That takes us all the way to 45. 45 to 56. What we're doing is we're using the distributive property to combine similar terms. So really all we're doing here is taking two terms and deciding, are those similar, are those alike, do they have the same variable? Yes, they do. That means we can combine these. And if you remember from a few lessons ago, instead of doing the subtraction, we would write that as 4x plus negative 9x. Remember doing that? Change our plus or our minus to a plus and put the negative on the 9. And then the difference between the two, the difference between 9 and 4 is 5x. You know, just like the quarters again. And then the sign of the largest number, the 9, goes on the problem. And it gives us negative 5x, and that's what they want you to do for those problems. And if you jump to page 150, we've got some of those fun applying the concepts. Probably the only ones that you're really needing to look at would be 59 to 66. And that's just the typical area and perimeter that we just did a little bit ago. Only they're not giving you the drawing, they're just telling you that well, look at number 63 for instance. It's just saying that the length is 20 and the width is 10. And they're inches. Alright, and it's asking you to find the area and perimeter. Well, the area is length times width, which means we're going to take 20 times 10. And if you remember what we said before, you multiply the numbers here, get a 2, add the zeros. 1, 2 zeros. And the perimeter then would be, and it says that it is a rectangle. Rectangle has 4 sides, so we have 20 and 20 because the ones opposite each other are the same length, and the same with the 10. So 20 plus 10 plus 20 plus 10, and then that gives us 60 inches in this case. And that's all there is to problem set 2.6. And that takes us to chapter 3 next.